This Saturday night, September 12th, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Floyd Mayweather goes for 49-0 against Haitian-born Mayweather-Berto. I'm gonna break this fight down for you in 60 seconds because that's what I do. This is Montero's Monday Minute, and it starts right now. Mayweather by decision. So there you have it, boxing fans. Mayweather by decision. This is a record for me. What can I say? I'm getting better and better and quicker with these predictions every time. I'll see you guys at the fights. Just kidding. Obviously, I have a lot more to say about this. Okay. I'm going to talk about the actual matchup, Mayweather-Berto. I'm going to sound off a little bit on this because I have some opinions. And then I'm going to talk about the pay-per-view event as a whole, the whole card. So let's start with Mayweather-Berto. Floyd Mayweather only signs the dotted line to fight somebody when he knows he's going to win. Not when he thinks he can win, when he knows. He either cherry picks a guy where he sees something that's tailor-made for him, or if he sees a potential future threat, he fights them while they're still green and not ready. Or if they're a big threat right now, he waits them out until they're faded and they've taken some punishment. Something like that. Look, he tried to cherry pick Mayweather-Berto in 2011. 2011, when Berto was undefeated, had been doing the Al Heyman typical prospect building thing, fighting a ton of scrubs and getting paid way too much to do so. Then Mayweather-Berto ran into Victor Ortiz, and Mayweather had to fight Ortiz. He tried to cherry pick Mayweather-Berto again in 2012, but Berto lost to Robert Guerrero, so Floyd fought Robert Guerrero. This is years after he tried to cherry pick him, this fight's happening. So obviously, I don't love the matchup. It was rumored that this was gonna be on free, PBC, CBS, something like that. I couldn't have complained at that point. But it's on pay-per-view, and they're charging $75. So I feel very strongly that this is a crap fight for that kind of money, okay? And we already know Floyd fans are gonna buy this card, but boxing casuals, boxing junkies who buy every fight, MMA fans who tune into boxing when Floyd Mayweather's fighting for some reason, that's who I'm talking to right now, you guys. My message to you is buyer beware. This is not a pay-per-view worthy fight. This matchup, although Berto is along the same lines of a Robert Guerrero, Marcos Maidana type, he's that B-level quality contender, but this is not worth $75, especially when you've got Cotto Canelo coming up, which will be less money, I believe about $65, and then you got Triple G Lemieux before that, and that's going to be $50. Now, some people have talked about this being a good card, having a solid undercard, and they're right. This is probably the best undercard Floyd has had, possibly, since the Canelo card. That was a pretty good undercard. But let me talk briefly about this undercard. Martirosyan Smith. Vanes Martirosyan is a guy that just hasn't lived up to expectations. Ishe Smith is a guy that, he's carved out a good career for himself with his limitations, but he's just not an exciting fighter. That fight's going all 10 rounds. It's going to be lackluster. Martirosyan will win, but he's a guy that when he's gotten opportunities to fight the best has failed, and that fight's kind of meaningless to me. Then there's the Badou Jack George Groves fight, which several boxing analysts I work with are actually excited about. This fight does nothing for me either. I don't really rate Jack that high. I don't rate Groves that high. They're both top 10 super middleweights, but it's not as if the winner of that fight is going to go on to fight Andre Ward or somebody we care about. Froch already disposed of Groves last year. Jack struggled with Anthony Dirrell, the lesser of the Dirrell brothers, earlier this year. I just am not very interested in that fight. The only fight I'm really interested in is the Martinez Salido rematch. Those two fought earlier this year in Puerto Rico, where Martinez is from, and it was a fight of the year candidate. Very good fight. Salido was down a couple times. It was great two-way action, even though Martinez won fairly clearly. The rematch, I think, is going to be very, very exciting. It's obviously the fight of this card. The fact that it's in Vegas, I think, favors Salido. I think he'll be more comfortable. I think he'll have more crowd support. So I expect that to be another possible fight of the year candidate, but there's a chance it could be a continuation of the first fight where I thought Martinez just had the better work consistently, and it might be a one-sided fight. One more comment about the main event though, Mayweather-Berto. Look, Floyd has been adamant about cleaning up the sport and talking out against steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, and he talked all that stuff about Pacquiao for years and years and years, even though that was an issue that had been cleared up years ago with the drug testing stuff. Berto's a guy who's been involved with performance-enhancing drugs. He's been linked to it. He's had issues and trouble with that. For Floyd to be fighting him right now and charging people $75, I think that's kind of hypocritical. They're also going to try to market this as Floyd's last fight. They're saying he's going to retire after this at 49-0. Who really believes that? I don't think anyone does. It's pretty clear Floyd will come back next year, go for that 50th fight so he can say he beat Marciano's record. I don't know why people make those comparisons. Marciano is not the only guy who's gone 49-0 or longer. He was a heavyweight. It was a completely different era. I don't know why people even hold on to that record. And there's been other guys who retired undefeated, like Joe Calzaghe and guys like that. So I don't know. Floyd, to me, doesn't need to come back. But if there's money in it for him, you best believe he's going to come back for that 50th fight so that his diehard, blindingly loyal supporters will be able to say, we got Marciano. So again, I just close on this. Buyer beware.